Well, good morning, everybody. It's Monday morning. Some people used to not like Mondays because that meant you had to go to work. But when you're retired, it don't matter. But you working people, it's Monday morning. So that's just the way it goes. Sue's on here, and I'm on here, and the two lucky dogs are on here, Cassie and Abby.
Morning.
Hey, Google. Good morning.
Good morning, Lucky Dog. It is 7:59 a.m. Right now in DeLand it's 77 and mostly sunny. Today it'll be partly cloudy with a forecasted high of 87 and a low of 70. By the way, don't forget to set out trash. Have a nice day.
Ron's on here, Tammy's on here. Good morning, guys. How you everybody doing this morning? Hey, update on my quad in the water. The quad's working. The camera, I think, is destroyed. The camera and transmitter, that's not working. So some of it's better. So that's the update on the quad. I was messing with the Recruit. Todd gave me this Recruit, and I got a receiver in, and it's working. Have no camera in it yet, but anyways, update on the quad. It's halfway success, halfway. It's about a $75 loss instead of a $250 loss. So, oh well. As it goes, and Ron says it's 77 and sunny there, and sunny here right now. They said the rain chances are lower the rest of this week, and gosh, if we're ever going to fly airplanes again, it's going to have to get a good week of dry weather to get that field dried up. It's a mess, and I'm not even going to try to fly nothing until it gets dried up. But it's just, you destroy things. So lesson learned, yeah. I always call people idiots. Anybody like me, I said, if you try to do this, you're an idiot. Well, I was an idiot because I tried to do something I knew better. And oh well, lesson learned. So as Sue said, hey, we got ribs on the smoker. Yeah, Tammy said you can't win them all. Yeah, you're right. You can't win them all, and sometimes things just don't work out.
Should have known better.
Well, and like Ron said too, better than a total loss. And that's right. It's not a total loss. The quad's still working. I haven't flown it, but I started up in the house, and it, I hovered it there in the house, so it's working. So right on, Ron. So anyways, we got ribs on the smoker right now. I'm looking out the window here. I can see the smoker rolling, and we're gonna smoke them to about noon. I put them on here about 7:30, and that's gonna give them what, 4 or 5 hours? Probably about 4 hours, 4.5. And there's a country style rib, so that's what we're having for lunch. We're having another tree guy is supposed to show up here between 8:30 and 9, getting estimates on having this big tree in the front yard taken down. So he's supposed to show up this morning, and I think pretty much we'll decide on one. Yeah, Ron says, but it still hurts for the loss. Yeah, it does. What is it? Just money. Like I have bunches of it. It's like I've got a closet full of it. I just go in here and dig all the money I want out. If you believe that.
I have a jar full of coins.
Coins, yeah. Henry says, I was talking about you this morning. I used the word idiot. And it reminded me that's your favorite word. I don't.
Google, what a stupid word.
Hey Google.
What's an idiot?
What's an idiot?
Here's the definition of idiot.
Google, stop.
A stupid person.
There.
Oh, stupid person. See, sometimes she goes in at that, but stupid person. I love idiot. No offense to anybody, because I call myself an idiot if I do something stupid. I'm an idiot. So good. I'm glad my word is moving out. So
word of the day.
Word of the day, idiot. So you think of it, and you see a stupid person, they're an idiot.
Funny.
That's cool. I like it, Tammy. That's cool. Hey, talk about idiots. You ever have to get sent to the principal's office? Did you ever get sent there and what was the reason? I was trying to remember. I remember one time I went to the principal's office on a kid on the bus kept picking on me, and I saw off and smacked him one finally, and I kept doing it, and after a while I took enough, and I just backhanded him. Well, his nose bled, and can't remember his name, but the bus driver sent us to the principal's office, and we got balled up. We didn't get really in trouble. They just told it, because he went in there, he goes, I was picking on him. The reason he smacked me one, because I just kept picking on him, and he had enough. And I can't remember the kid's name. I can almost picture him, but anyway, so we got away with that, So, any you guys there? Sue, you ever been sent to the principal's
I don't think
office?
I have.
Oh, Miss Goody Two Shoes.
I don't
She
recall. I probably have, but it doesn't stick out in my mind. If
I-
it did, it was probably because I backtalked.
Never back talked someone. Well, see, I backhanded. You know, there's a difference between back talk and I backhanded.
I think I got my knuckles wrapped with a ruler
Oh, did you?
twice, yeah.
I got my ass wrapped with some few things there. Ron said I was there a lot. Yeah, I remember Ron was there a lot.
Well, I did. I skipped school that day when we
Skipped
had the
school?
bomb threat.
Oh,
we
yeah.
went home, and I had to go to the principal's office when we went back for that, and I got detention. But we had a bomb threat, and I just lived up around the corner. So me and a bunch of my friends went up to my house and
Just
just
went
hung
home.
out there.
Yeah.
We weren't going to go back. Some of the cool kids didn't go back, so we thought we don't have to go back either. Well, we went back and we got in trouble, but the cool kids didn't get in trouble, of course.
Well, of course, the cool kids, the sports people, they don't get in trouble, you know, because they wouldn't want to hurt them. Tammy said I skipped school, and it was the worst, and it was worse thing than going to school because I felt so guilty. I told the principal the same thing, and he said, "Well, lesson learned," and sent me on our way. You know, so you felt guilty about skipping school,
That's
Tammy?
funny.
I never felt guilty about skipping school.
My late husband and one of his buddies skipped school one time in high school. And they went down to Columbus. We lived in Worcester, which is in northeastern Ohio. They went down to the capital, which is Columbus, which is about an hour and a half away. Went down to an art museum and walked around. Don't you know they ran into the high school principal at the art center?
That's funny.
They go, busted.
Tammy says, "Sue, I bet you was a cool kid."
No, I was a nerd.
She was a nerd. I remember Sue in school. Well, I knew her pretty well in school. Her husband was a nerd too. Dave was a good guy, but he was a nerd.
He was
You
a
know,
nerd.
it's like we would all of us sit at the cafeteria on this nerd tables. You know,
Yeah.
and I used to date Dave, which was Sue's. It's not ex. Your
Late
husband. You know. And I used to date his sister, and so I've known Sue ever since high school. So but that was fun. Yeah, we were the nerds.
You know, we're just not the popular kids. Some of us were nerds, some of us were just not popular. We had our own little clique. But
Ron says the principal and Coach Cargill is what made me quit school. Yep, Coach Cargill. I'm sorry, he was an asshole. You know, he an idiot. Yeah, he tried to spank me once, and I slugged him. You know. He was horrible. I couldn't stand him. You know, all those coaches and sports people, they were the downfall of school. You know, Tammy says I have hard time believing that.
do you remember? Was it Mr. Kirk?
Yeah, I
was
remember.
The principal?
Yeah, Chrome
Is that
Dome.
the one he's talking about, Chrome Dome?
No, he's talking about Cargill, the coach.
But he also said the principal.
Well, yeah, the principal was probably Cargill.
I think it was Mr. Kirk. Then
He was bald headed. We called him Chrome Dome.
My girlfriend's mom, she didn't go back, and she got in worse trouble. And my girlfriend's mom went in and called him a bald-headed, beady-eyed bastard.
He was. I'll tell you this, Ron, some teachers were just rotten to the core. And they were, you know. I'm sorry for any of you sports fans, but that was the worst thing in school was sports. If you was into sports, you got treated differently and betterly. Anybody who was going to pick on you was the sports kids and the coaches and stuff. Because if you weren't into sports, you were a piece of shit. And that's just a fact, you know. And Cargill was one of them. There's several. There was one of our teachers that just died. He was a coach, Bevington. He was an asshole. I'm sorry that, you know, the guy's passed now, but still he was, you know. Stidham was another one. It's just, I'm sorry. Sports people was the worst in school, and that's why I hated school, you know. Ron says, and I got in a fist fight.
With Cargill?
Yeah.
Cargill?
And he and I got in a fist fight, and that was the end. And Ron quit. He got smart. He quit school then. I do remember that. And I smacked Cargill once. I don't know what he was trying to do. He grabbed my arm, and I just hauled off and pulled out, and I backhanded him one. And I never got nothing out of that, you know. But, yeah, that was the worst part of school, was the coaches and the but anyways, back then, how did you guys listen to music? This is how we used to. We had 45s, and if you was lucky and didn't have one that you had to change, you had the stackable ones. And
Yep.
it would drop down and play the next record for you, and but that's how we did it. It had 45s, and then you flip it over. There was one song on each side, and then if you had the 78s,
those were our parents.
Those were albums. The parents had the 78s.
Oh, ours were 33 and a third.
33 and oh, that's right. 78s even goes back further.
Yeah.
33 and a third was the albums that you had a whole album on it. But nowadays it's all digital and it's all it's so easy, you know, to do it. So that's why we used to listen to music in the good old in the radio.
My sister traded a bunch of my 45 records for a bag of marbles. I about flipped. My little sister did that. I came home and a bunch of my 45s were gone. And she traded them for marbles. That was Jean.
Oh, that was Jean?
Yeah.
Okay, he says, my first car had an 8-track. Yeah, I had an 8-track. And, of course, at home, I had 45s and albums. So, yeah, we had 8-tracks. And then it went to cassettes. Then it went to CDs. And now it's just all digital. You know, it's all digital done on it. I have another one. What is this one? Oh, that's the same one.
I think the last album or CD I bought was in Ohio. I haven't bought any since.
Yeah. So, remember these for Lucky Dawg, the cartoon dog critters, you know? Can you name this? The one up here, I know it, but I can't think who it is.
Was that Snaggle? No.
Is that? And then this one was.
I don't see it yet. So.
Gosh, I know him.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo. Yeah, this was Scooby-Doo, the middle one. You got Dino. He was with the Jetsons.
Yeah.
And this was
Huckleberry Hound.
Huckleberry Hound. Yeah. And
the guy in the top corner, left corner, he's the one that guarded the sheep, wasn't he?
I think he did. Yeah. I think he did.
And the bottom left one was what Carols of Penelope. I think he was the dog in that one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the name.
So these are some old dog cartoons. That dog cartoons was cool. They don't have good cartoons anymore. It's the cartoons now just aren't.
Muttley, yeah,
Muttley,
that's it.
Yeah, Muttley. She got it. Okay, I said I don't think the quality is as good these days. Oh, quality of music on it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't listen to a lot of music anymore. I used to listen more, but I just rarely listen to music anymore. So
I listen to a lot on YouTube. I'll go and, I just listened to a whole concert. Bee Gees. I listened to a Bee Gees concert the other day on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. The older I get, the less I want to listen to music. I don't know why. I just don't. I guess because I'm old. So, but yeah, I don't just listen to a lot of music on it. So then. In the summertime, I don't know what you all did. Did you guys ever remember playing in the creek? I do. We go down the creek, catch minnows and little crawfish, and you can eat those crawfish. You know, we used to catch those under rocks, and we catch a crawfish. But we go down to the creek, and is it creek or creek?
It's the correct pronunciation is creek, but you call it crick. That's what everybody says.
A crick. You know, that's what I get in my neck. A crick. You know, I get a crick in my neck, but yeah, we used to go down and play in the creek or creek or whatever you want to call it. But we used to go down there and play in that. Ron said I listened to Sirius XM the 60s in the truck. Yeah, you know, if Tammy likes the Bee Gees too, so
they're my favorites.
She's in good company with you.
Yeah, they're my favorites.
I had another one, but I forgot to put it up here about mowing on the old reel mower. Oh, there's Denny. How you doing, Denny?
Hi, Denny.
Oh, how's the morning in Ohio? Hey, Google, what's the temperature in Worcester, Ohio?
In Worcester, it's currently 75.
75.
Oh, that's nice.
The other day I did this, and my buddy Howie Roll was watching it, and he knew Conway, and he goes, or I said Loris. Hey Google, what's the temperature in Loris, South Carolina?
The temperature in Loris right now is 76.
76. But he used to have a bar in Conway just below Loris there. And that's funny how I've been following him for probably about a year now. And how it crosses over. He's been around Daytona. Our paths have just almost crossed over on it. But Tammy says, I still play in the creek. If I find one, I have to go into the deep Missouri to find a good one. Yeah, that's cricks are cool. You know, there's nothing wrong. You know, we had a swimming pool out here they're a pain in the butt to keep up, and we finally took it down. But you could down to the creek, or I told Sue, if you really want to get cold, go outside and take the hose and squirt it up in the air and stand under it.
We used to do that a lot.
You know, the water here out of the ground, I've been noticing it. It's between 78 and 80 degrees coming out of the ground. I've been checking it because I've been doing some aquariums and keep track what the temperature is. But right now it's about 78 to 80 degrees coming out of the hose or out of the faucet. So our water is pretty warm coming out of the ground. So you can go out here and set up the hose, squirt it up in the air, and it won't feel all that bad.
Well, those guys up in Missouri and Ohio, I heard they're supposed to have heat warnings up there. The heat index is supposed to be in the high hundreds, so everybody stay hydrated and stay cool up there.
Where was it I seen they were, I guess that was Chicago, they showed on TV. Everybody was going to the beach because it was in the 90s up there, but they said the water was only 66. I'm not going to no water at 66.
Kids don't care.
I do. Yeah. When I was a kid, I didn't like it though. I didn't like cold water. If it's not 80 degrees, I'm not going in that water. It's too cold, you know. I come out there and freeze my butt off. Ron says I can turn on the sprinklers on and stay cool.
There you go.
Yeah, you just turn your sprinklers.
I love putting in the sprinklers.
I used to have, when I first bought this house, we had an air conditioner, it's what they call water to air, and every time the air conditioner would kick on and run, the water would run from the pump, and I hooked up a sprinkler system, so every time the AC was on, I would water the yard, you know. I don't have that system anymore, so I don't do it. I was looking out the window, I see the smoke just rolling out there with my my ribs on it there.
Smells good. Cherry wood.
Yeah, using cherry. Hope it's not on fire. So, sometimes I get too much in there and it will catch on fire. The wood will on it. So
I just see smoke.
I see smoke. I just don't see no fire. I hope not. Smoking food's really good. Amy said my husband was working out in this heat yesterday, and I think he almost had a heat stroke. Yeah, you can. Last year after the hurricane, I was cleaning up a tree, and that was in, when was that, October or September?
What was that?
Hurricane? Yeah, and I almost had a heat stroke because it was so hot there. Ron says we are to have a heat index 102 and higher this week. It's supposed to be warm. Actually, I don't feel it's been that hot yet here. I mean, it's been in 91, 92.
It's not been unbearable, but we haven't been hanging outside.
Yeah, I don't.
Since we took the pool down, I don't hang outside like I did before. I used to just sit out by the pool all the time, didn't I?
Yeah.
I was either in it or I was sitting beside it.
And yesterday we went out the field, and it really wasn't. It wasn't hot at all yesterday morning, you know. Yeah. And I don't feel it's been all that hot this year, but of course, when I say not hot, 90, 92, you know. Oh, Sue said, what's your husband do for a living? He's a master carpenter. How cool.
Nice.
I've done a little carpentry. I'm not no master, but I've done a little carpentry work. Originally I built the deck out here, and I can't believe it's already wore out. It's been here 20 years, but Florida sun wood will just doesn't last in Florida. You would think up north with all the snow and stuff laying on decks and wood and stuff that they would go bad quicker, but actually the sun seems like it makes them go bad quicker. Oh, Tammy said, I'm very proud of her husband. That's good for you, Tammy. You should be proud of him. You know, I'm sure he worked very hard. I don't work at all. I used to, but I retired now. I have done my work. In the past, I have worked. And the older you get, the harder it is to work. I was talking about retirement to my friend the other day, and he said he was going to wait till he's, 65, 66, whatever that is. And I said I wouldn't wait so long to retire. And I retired at 62. I'm 65 now. So what happens is as you get a little older, the things you used to do, you just can't hardly do them anymore. It's awful. I mean, Ron, I was talking to Ron on the phone yesterday, was talking about that, how it's so irritating. Something you used to think nothing about doing, you do a small chore, and it just about kills you, about wears you out. And that's irritating when you can't do what you used to do. So
I was lucky. I got to retire at 58.
yeah, Ron's been retired since he was quite a while. But yeah, it's terrible that you can't do as much as you used to. But that's old age. As it goes, everybody knows that. I always said we should retire when we're young and go back to work when we're older, but we wouldn't be worth the crap. Tanny says I'm trying to get him to take an early retirement. No such luck. Yeah, I mean, I would if he could do it. Oh, Ron said he was 48 when he retired, so Ron was really lucky. So yeah, I worked till I was 62. It was a rough time. Hey, we're going to get out of here. We got a tree guy supposedly come about 8:30. I don't know if he'll show up at 8:30, but 8:30 to 9. So in case he shows up, we've been on about 20 minutes. So hey, everybody have a good Monday. Glad to see Tammy's on board, Denny's on board, and Ron's on board. Of course, me and Sue's here, and the lucky dogs, they're laying on the floor. I think, no, Sue's holding Cassie, the other lucky dog. Yeah. So, all right, we're going to have ribs today. Hope everybody else eats well today, because we are. If you enjoyed it, give it. Oh, Tammy wouldn't know how Ron managed that. Well, Ron had a medical thing. He had a bypass surgery, and that when he was younger. So he had to take disability because
medical.
And he worked at Timken Roller Bearing, which was a nasty place too to work. He worked there about 30 years. So, anyways, we're gonna get on here. If you have any comments, watching this later on, leave your comments. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We'll be on here tomorrow morning. So everybody have a good Monday. Glad to see everybody on there, and make it a good day.